So let's get into the Clipse family. The Clipse dropped their long-awaited album, Let God Sort Them Out. All right, dope. First impressions on the album, family. How do you feel about it? How do you like the album, family? All right, me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you. I give this album around a 7.5 out of 10. It's a pretty solid album. I'm gonna be honest. It's a pretty solid album. You know, if you're into hip hop, if you're into dope rap, and when I say dope rap, I mean the double entendre. I mean it's dope raps and it's dope rap. You feel what you know what I'm saying? Like your boy, you know what I'm saying? I kind of, anyway. So let's kind of go through the track list real quick. The Clipse. We're gonna go through the album track list first, and then we are going to listen to some of the interviews they had on the rollout. Okay. Now, here we go. Let's go through some of these tracks. I'm going to give you my opinion on these songs. Now, the first thing I will say about it, they give this album an opportunity to be a classic. What do I mean by that? Typically, a classic album is not going to be over 15, 17 songs max because it's hard not to miss. So, they only dropped 13 songs on this album. I'm not gonna lie. I think that benefited them versus shoving 19 songs on here or something like that and allowing the album to be somewhat watered down, if you stand with me. Okay? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. The first thing that has to be said is the Clipse shot their load 2 weeks early. Pause. What do I mean by that? The Clipse should not, I repeat, the Clipse should not have performed the Chains and Whips featuring the Kendrick Lamar like 2 weeks before. Family, if you don't remember, the Clipse leaked Chains and Whips. Hold on. I think it's been taken down from most sites, but family, around 2 weeks ago, the verse leaked. They performed it, right? So anyway, I say that to say this. This verse would have been the talk of the town yesterday when the album dropped. If no one would have heard it, everyone would have been speaking about the Kendrick Lamar verse. But what happened is it leaked before the album dropped, and a lot of spin and chat around the album that would have been had yesterday was already had. So let's get into it. First, we got The Birds Don't Sing. Now, this song, you know, it is a emotional song. I'm gonna be honest. They're speaking about their parents who have now both passed away. It is touching. I'm gonna be honest with you. Pulls at the heartstrings. It's raps that you typically don't hear from Pusha and Malice. Of course, their raps pretty gangsta 24/7. This was them being a little more emotional. I really did like it. I really did fuck with that song. I'm gonna be honest. Now, like I said, getting back into what they really do. Chains and Whips. Of course, this song did leak. And we got a Kendrick Lamar spotting. Now, Kendrick Lamar did give them a very dope verse. It's a very dope song. I love the beat. Pharrell, you got to remember, produced this album. He produced this entire album. And he was in this bag, if you asked me, this entire album.
He was sent Chains and Whips. He was
Mike Tyson.
You know, Hove had the album, so you know.
So be it.
It was all for him to, whatever he wanted to do.
Oh, he's supposed to be on So Be It.
Yeah, that was one of the options. Yeah.
And nothing moved his spirit.
Hey, man.
You know.
Now, I will say this. Even though we're looking for a different clip, let's speak on this clip real quick momentarily. I think Hove not being on this album speaks a lot to currently what Hove is going through. We got to remember, Hove has been fighting cases. Now, the initial Tony Bugsby case, you know, they pretty much got it out of the paint. Tony Bugsby currently cannot practice in the Southern District of New York. He still can practice in New York, but not the Southern District. However, Jay-Z has gotten another case where a alleged kid of his has been attempting to get a DNA test from him for its entire life. It's something he's been claiming forever. The kid name, which I won't say kid because he's literally an entire adult now. I think he's literally, if not already 30, pushing 30. His name is Ramir Satterwhite. Ramir Satterwhite. Of course, Hove is basically going through some, you know, some trials right now. He's going through some things, is what I'm trying to say. I think Hove not being on the album doesn't speak to the Clipse not producing a good body of work. I think it speaks more to what Hove is currently going through. That is my point. All right. Because the Clipse did what the Clipse do. You had Tyler, the Creator, who delivered a pretty decent verse. I'm going to be honest. I'm not the biggest Tyler, the Creator fan, so it didn't really move me. But you had Tyler, the Creator. Who else is on the album? You got The Dream, of course, Pharrell. You had Stove God Cooks, okay? You had Nas, which, you know, Nas is just a hip-hop god. And he's not really active in hip-hop day-to-days, right? He's just kind of somewhere on the outskirts. Every now and then he might come out disguised to bless a artist with a verse. We get it. And that's it. Now, while I was just speaking about reasons why Hove may have not been on this album, it comes with another thought as well. Family, if you on this album, you picking a side, okay? That is a fact. Everyone on this album, whether they know it or not, is picking a side. The Clipse are obviously anti-Drake, and Drake is one of the biggest in the game. It is a fact. No matter how you want to cut the cake, that is a fact. So if you're standing next to Pusha T, dropping songs and verses and features with Pusha T, you can damn near bet your bottom dollar that you will not be seeing a feature with the boy. That's a fact. Now, we know Tyler, the Creator, is not going to be featured with Drake. He was at the Pop Out. He performed at the Pop Out. He even addressed claims that he was part of the, 20v1 versus Drake. He's trying to say it's just music, whatever like that. Guess what?
This nigga was clearly lying.
Tyler, you popped out at the Pop Out. You a op. Bottom line. Get out of here. And you popping up on the Clipse album with Pusha T. Nigga, stay over there. So you don't get a lot of features on this album. And when you think about Hove being on it, that would be him picking a side as well. Now, truthfully, he's already picked a side. Let's be honest. But this would be a little more definite. Like, nigga, you know what it is. I'm standing over here. You got K-Dot on the album. You got, of course, it's Pusha T. And although they've always had that relationship, things are just a little different right now. So that could also play into the reason why you don't hear Jay-Z on the album. It's been a lot going on in hip-hop, right? Now, is this album a classic? This album is not a classic, okay? This album is not a classic, all right? As I go through the tracks more. So Be It, very dope. So Be It, if I'm not mistaken, we know it just rolled out like, 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. But truthfully, the first single that I heard from this album was the Mike Tyson Blow to the Face. Now, truthfully, this is still, personally, my favorite song off of the album. I love Mike Tyson Blow to the Face. This song is very dope to me. That's my shit. Pause. Ace Trumpets, dope. All things considered, they lost me a little bit on this one. It was a little weird sound, weird beat. They did something different. Just wasn't my thing. Again, Mike Tyson Blow to the Face, that's my shit. The EB, I can't remember, what was this? I just get from A to B, the Palace, the F of A. This one, anything that had Pharrell singing the hook, I wasn't really with. You had Stove God Cooks on the album, but if I'm not mistaken, he only did the hook. Did he really get into some verse? I don't remember him getting into a verse. And Glorious Bastards, this song was dope. Let God Sort 'Em Out, dope with Nas. By the Grace of God, Pharrell, it was dope. And So Be a Part 2, I didn't really rock with. Again, this is a overall solid album. Now, family, let's speak about, let's speak about first week sales. Now, a lot of people some people don't like first week sales. Some people don't like speaking about first week sales. Of course, it is a metric that can be unfair. What do we mean by that? The first week sales are not indicative of the body of work you put out, but it is a metric that people use to talk and determine impact of album. At least I do. So, me personally, I think the Clipse are going to do around 65,000 first week. This will not hit 100K. It will not. This is not a 100K first week album. If I'm being honest, I'm thinking 65 is almost being favorable towards them. The max they could possibly do is 80,000. That's the max. Period. In my opinion, they cannot do more than 80K first week. Family, we got to remember, we live in an era now where 50K is the new 100K. Artists are not doing these big numbers first week as they once did. The game has changed. The Clipse audience are not streamers. They're not people running to get to the Spotify's. And now, I will say this. They may have a decent physical selling copy of their album because their audience may still buy physical copies somewhat. Some of them. I'm going to be honest. They do have a crowd from them who still buys physical. Family, y'all might think I'm crazy when I'm saying they have a fan base that still buy physicals. But let me show y'all something real quick. Just so y'all know, your boy's not tweaking. Family, let me ask you this. Before I type this up, how old do you think the Clipse are? How old do you think the Clipse are? Let's look this up, family. Let me show you something. How old is Malice from the Clipse? Malice age. No Malice. No Malice was born in 72. So if Malice was born in 72 and we in 25, Malice is what, 72, 82, 92, 02, 12, 22. Malice is 53 years old. About to be 53. Malice is about to turn 53 years old. If Malice is 53, how old do you think Pusha T is? Pusha T was born in 77. Malice was born in what? Malice was born in 72. They're a year apart. We speaking about a 52 and 53-year-old group. This group is not doing 100K first week. That's not happening. These are older gentlemen. Now, don't get me wrong. We love hip hop. We're into hip hop. So we're going to listen to the Clipse. We're going to pull up to hear the bars. That's what we're going to do. But family, if you're 15 to 21, which is the dominance, 15, maybe even lower, 13 to around 26, 27, that's who's consuming music nonstop. That's not the fan base that the Clipse are catering to. However, again, fire album. I got them doing max 65K. That's my number. I'm sticking to it. I don't see them doing more.